don't even know if I'm going to remember how to do this. Where should I clip it? I'm going to clip it there. Looks a bit of shit there. Does that look shit? Does that look alright? Looks a bit of shit there, doesn't it? I'll put it up there. No, you're going to see it. I need it there, but then I don't. Could put it there, but then it's under the mat. I could just hold it, couldn't I? I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. You can get cool versions of these now where they just sort of clip on you and they're really discreet. This is like an old school Rode mic. They've advanced them quite a lot since I bought this, but they're always advancing tech these days, and I just can't keep up financially because every time I get something, the new version comes out. It's very frustrating. Sorry, I'm quite sweaty and clammy. You've just pressed play on a clammy dad. Hi, it's been a while, hasn't it? 6 months since we did this. I felt like making a video again. So I thought I'd take you on a family trip to Lisboa, aka Lisbon. Lisbon's about 3.5 hours north of our home here in the Algarve, and the plan was simple: to take Grayson to see Iron Maiden and then spend a couple of days at NOS Alive Festival while Hannah and Rufus disappeared into bookshops on a bit of a bookshop crawl. Grayson and I are in Lisbon for our first ever stadium festival. Who are we watching, Greg?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, baby. Let's do this, man. Excuse me, I need to get something to douse me because I just don't want to sit here sweating in your face. Give me 1 second. I'll go over here and get some blotting cloth. It looks like I'm a sex pest on trial or something. Sorry. I really needed this trip to Lisboa with the fam, and I didn't really realise how much I needed it until we were driving back to the Algarve, and I couldn't get this photograph that I took of this grubby graffiti-filled toilet out of my head. I don't know what it was. There was just something about this photo that really stuck with me, sort of just rattled around in my brain with all those other impure thoughts and revenge plans for anyone who's ever slighted me. Anyway, we're going to come back to the picture of the grubby toilet in a bit, guys. Is that a hook? did I just do a hook? See, I do still have it. I do still have it. Anyway, yeah. Let's go on with the show. Think of that, Chicky? It was awesome, wasn't it?
What are you doing, Dad? Why is it so good straight at me?
I've just seen some tasty looking pineapples in Lisboa. Check out these, yeah, it is a tourist trap. But how much are these tourist traps?
Sexy tips for sexy people.
A quentosh? 15 euros, you got no chance. So for the past 6 months, while I've not been making YouTube videos, I've been living inside AI. I have spent pretty much every day building with AI, coding with AI, working alongside AI agents. They're sort of like, they become sort of like co-workers, but co-workers who don't always somehow forget to invite me out for after work drinks. I honestly don't think I've been this excited about a technology since I was a teenager and I sat down in the library and I used the internet for the first time. Because up until then, pretty much all I had was the bra section of the Argos catalogue. That's toxic, isn't it? In 6 months, I've built more things than I've probably built in the past 10 years. I built a new blackout card app. I built an app for Hannah that tracks your menstrual cycles and recommends like nutrient-dense recipes to complement where you are in your cycle. I've built a retreat booking software and tons of other things that I'm not going to bore you with. All stuff that I genuinely never thought I'd be capable of making. And it's been intoxicating, but completely and utterly all-consuming. Somewhere along the way, I'm sweating profusely. I've become kind of detached from actual human beings, like real messy, unpredictable humans who do things that don't make sense. Months I've spent working and collaborating with something that never gets too tired, never gets overly emotional, never gets distracted, never calls me a complete twat. A bit like Hannah before we got married, actually. God, Lisbon is just such a gorgeous city. It's lovely coming here from somewhere like the Algarve, which is more like barren and earthy. It just has a different energy to it. It's made me realise how much I miss going to cities and just hanging out in cities. But yeah, I don't like how people in cities, a lot of people just cough and don't cover their mouth. Like I've walked past a few people and they just go like, it's expensive though, taking your family out for food, man. This is a problem when you're single. Anyone single watching this, please just treat yourself.
Made to go down.
Treat yourself to just going out and getting like toast and tea. And whenever you do that when you're like with 2 kids, it's like best part of €100 freaking euros just for getting yourself a tea and a toast because everyone else wants everything. Kids ordering smoothies is the worst. I'm like, what, €6.50 for a smoothie? Guys, that's not happening. Then I'm the mean dad. But I'm like, that's 2 smoothies. That's like, you know, €15 almost worth of smoothies. It's not happening, guys. It's just not happening. The raw products, we can just get them ourselves and make that ourselves at home. We've got a smoothie maker. Hannah has a smoothie app, for Christ's sake. I know most people hate AI. I get it. I'm terrified of it. I think we all should be. You'd be an idiot if you weren't terrified of it, especially if you're like me, where you're really embedded in it. You can kind of see the magnitude and the power of this thing. You should even be more terrified. But this is the thing. How can I hate it when I believe, personally, which is no more wrong or right than your belief, because abject truths don't exist, remember, that it's the next step in our evolution, not as biological humans, but as the universe itself. I mean, if you think about it, right, we connected billions of human brains through the internet, and out of that network, we built what we now call AI, and out of AI will eventually birth general intelligence, and then who knows what precedes that? It's evolution happening right in front of us, one layer building the next. And I don't think this is by chance, I think this is an inevitability. Intelligence always tries to expand beyond its limits, and I think AGI is how we'll eventually get off this space rock. We are glorified frickin' chimps. We stick fake eyelashes on and we worship this twat. We're not very bright. We exist in a very, very narrow spectrum of reality, but we believe that everything we see is everything that there is. 99.9% we can't see it or even conceive of it. But we have hubris, and our hubris blinds us, and we're very egotistical as well. So there's all of that. So I'm a supporter of this technology because I think this is how we expand our consciousness beyond this tiny ecosystem. At the same time, I do get the pushback. I get it. I really do. I think the trick is using AI intentionally to do the boring stuff so we can do the creative stuff. The Blackout Card app I've launched, that's a good example. I wrote manually all of the questions, but I just used AI to help me build the actual app. And the same with Hannah's smoothies. She designed all the recipes, checked the nutritional recommendations, and AI just helped us turn that into software. The problem now isn't whether I can build things, it's that I can build almost anything. My ADHD right now is on fire, in a house that's on fire, in a world that's on fire. So I've decided I need to stop for a while because I need to stop making things. I need to start nurturing the things that I've already created. AI has consumed so much of my life that I feel like the only thing I've got left now are writing and photography and spearfishing and working out and sleep and playing with my kids. But other than that, like I'm backed into a corner with this thing. Speaking of writing, I recently created a Substack. It's got some of my ramblings on there. I actually wrote an article about what I think the meaning of life is. If you're interested in that type of thing, go and check it out. I'll link it down below. So we booked this little Airbnb. It's very teeny, really little teeny thing. So €100 a night roughly, maybe a bit less, for 2 bedrooms. It's a little bit further out of town, so I guess that's why it's a bit cheaper. I think we've walked about 50,000 steps today, so my legs are broken. I, 6 months ago, asked AI to look at our YouTube analytics and tell me if we should keep making YouTube videos, and it essentially said no.
Computer says no.
It said people don't care about the pages, they care about the chapters. So just upload when something significant happens. So we stopped, and we quietly walked away from one of the most creative outlets I've ever known. And looking back, I feel a bit like it was something telling me that my wife doesn't love me anymore, and then showing me its boob and giving me a thumbs up gesture. And now the excitement's over, I kind of miss my wife. Today, we are in somewhere called Sintra. Sintra is, well, I think the most touristy place I've ever been to in Portugal. So I can't really get any nice shots of it because there's just bloody people with horrendous brightly coloured outfits everywhere. Being a creative in the world of AI can be frustrating because you can create things that you think are really good and hold up, and people will just assume they're AI. So you might write an article and you know put so much time and effort into it, and people are like, oh yeah, AI wrote it. And you're like, I wrote before AI existed. You can read my old stuff, it's exactly like this. Of course I didn't get AI to write it, but people just think it's AI. And nothing feels special anymore. Special effects are no longer special effects, they're just effects. Keith in his bedroom can now pretty much create Hollywood-style effects with just a few prompts and little more. But hating something isn't going to help. The only option we have is to do what we do best, and that is adapt. Let me show you a perfect example of how we've adapted. Structurally, it's kind of wrong, but feels right in an abstract way that can't be explained easily by logic. And this is what happens when creators and artists have these challenges. I genuinely feel like artists produce the best work when they're uncomfortable. Listen to most bands. The best stuff is the early stuff. It's when things were difficult, when their life was hard. The minute they blow up and they're in the VIP section and they've got a life of comfort, the pain goes. When things are rooted in pain, it's when they are at their best. And that's a very difficult thing for large language models or AI to emulate. Anyway, let's get back to the grubby toilet in Lisbon. While I was sat in the car, I realised why I couldn't get this frickin' grubby toilet out of my noggin. What's more human feeling than a graffiti-filled toilet? People leaving their mark behind. Good ones and bad ones, funny ones, stupid ones, inane ones. Humanity at its rawest form. We're messy, biological, imperfect chaos and waste and inside jokes and terrible drawings and inane ramblings, and we're graffiti on a toilet wall. And that's it. And I couldn't stop thinking about that photograph because it actually made me feel something that reminded me of what I am. The day after the Iron Maiden concert, we tagged along with Hannah and Rufus on a bookshop crawl. We spent a couple of hours in Salted Books, where I found one of my favourite ever books, A Short Stay in Hell. If you haven't read it, please read it. I highly recommend it. Anyway, I read it on a Kindle, but I saw it there in physical form, so I picked it up and I gave it to Grayson and I said, please man, just give this a go, because I think you're going to like it. And from the moment he opened that front cover and started reading it, he didn't put it down. He was reading it while we were walking through the street, in cafes, on park benches, in libraries, in galleries, anywhere we went. He had his head buried in this book, and he finished it by the evening. And if you're a parent, you'll know there is nothing better than seeing your child read a book. It's just the best thing ever. Anyway, then it was time for NOS Alive. Gray and I have just got to NOS Festival, but we have a drama. I checked the website and it said no cameras allowed with interchangeable lenses, and then I went to get in and they looked at this little camera here, which is a DJI Osmo, like a teeny little kind of camera, not with no interchangeable lenses. They're like, yep, not possible, not possible. I was like, well, your FAQ says it is possible, so I need to speak to the manager, I proper Karen'd. And then I went to speak to the box office and I explained the situation. Look, dudes, like this is just like a little camera with no interchangeable lens. So far the NOS experience has been stressful and annoying. Sorry, G. Sorry, kiddo. Great, was it just me or was that woman a bit rude?
Yeah, she was.
She was rude. They're going to let us in the side entrance apparently in a few minutes once they've got production to like confirm this is okay. And Grayson wants to go up to her with the camera and be like, see, it's possible. Because they're going to let us in the side door and we might go right round to the very start. I'm like, should we be that petty?
Yes. She was rude to us, we'd be rude to her.
No, that's not how it works, Gray. I don't know.
Idea.
It was initially my idea because I'm quite a petty man, but then I realised it was quite petty. I think this is a power play, Gray. I think they're making us wait now for an hour.
They're not
because they know
allowed
I'm
to do that.
right, but they'll just leave us here waiting. They're like, oh, we just got to check with production. I was like, that shouldn't take an hour.
They're not allowed to do that.
It's a power play, Gray. So
It's
what?
not a power play.
They are because they know I'm right, so they'll leave us waiting outside for like an hour while
Why
they check
would
with
they do
production.
that if they know you're right?
Because they know I'm right, and they don't want to. It's called pettiness. So they're being petty. So they make us. Have taken them had they have said in the FAQ section that they weren't permitted.
Dad, I don't think they're even allowed to do that.
Olá, Viva!
Hola.
Posso estar?
We got in. We got in. Sweet, man. Right, Grace, we get some drugs. Grayson and I are just waiting to see our first band. He's really happy. He's got himself like some free stuff. He's got a free hat.
Free stuff.
Loads of free stuff. And while we wait, they're playing ads. Like adverts, and like, you know, adverts are just always really loud and aggressive. I'm just getting blasted with like adverts, like it's too much sensory information for me. I normally turn over on ads. If ads start, I'll like mute the TV or I turn it over. I actually got quite far down the line with developing a project many years ago, which basically you plug into your TV in the HDMI port. It knows when the ads are on and then plays just like serene music and like nice, tranquil, like kind of scenery until the adverts finish, and then it kicks back on with the show. Because I just find them so. I just hate how ads are just so like loud. You know what I mean? They're all just desperate for attention. So the only way to get attention is to be as loud as possible. And I just hate that. I just wish I wish they were more subtle and nice and artistic, but they're not. They're just really aggressive. But yeah, anyway, here I can't turn it down or mute it or anything. I've got to listen to ads through like colossal speakers. Right. But anyway, I'm just being a whingy old dad. More ads. Clear Connect. That's why I love spearfishing so much. See, when I'm underwater, nobody's trying to sell me anything. I love that about it. I must admit, it does have a very bit of a corporate kind of feel to it. And there's loads of brands here as well, and it just feels to me like very, very corporate and addy. And
We get free fans here.
that's why people are queuing up for free fans. Okay, I think Grayson wants a free fan. They're giving away free stuff as well, like free corporate gifts. So he's got a bag of free corporate gifts, so he's happy. You're like a walking billboard for like consumer goods. Other than the ads, it's just so lovely to be here with my boy. Like I said to him earlier, there's nobody else in the world I would rather be with right now than him, walking
Same.
along here. Yeah, man.
Can we get some more free stuff?
Grayson, it's not really worth much.
You get this free next time.
Gray, you don't need any more free stuff.
Come on, I just want one more thing.
They won't give you any more. You've already rinsed them, Gray. Oh my God. Sorry, Grayson's desperate to get as much loot as he possibly can from this place. So they're queuing up for these like shoelace things that go around their neck. And I swear to you, this queue must be like 2 hours long. Okay, maybe exaggerating. Maybe it's not 2 hours long, but like it's such a long queue. Like it's just a piece of string. See the massive queue here, right? You know what that's for? They spin this wheel here and they might win one of these packets of Reese's, like just a packet like that. They can win that. And that is the queue to win that one little piece of chocolate. These are Trident tote bags, polyester Trident tote bags, and you have to queue up for an hour. I'm sorry guys, I can't go over this. To play this game here, and it's like a really shit version of like Tetris, and the queue is freaking ginormous. Like it goes further than the eye can see. I remember when Hannah and I went to Disneyland once, there was a woman standing there with a massive queue to meet her, right? And get this, right? The woman standing there was, and I promise you this isn't a lie, I'm not exaggerating, the woman standing there was a woman dressed up as Mary Poppins, and there was a massive queue in Disneyland for people to meet this woman dressed up as Mary Poppins. And I was so disturbed after seeing that I've never been quite the same since. And this is on the equivalent, like this queue behind me here to get that tote bag. It's that level of disturbed that I am. I know I moaned a lot about the advertising and the endless queues for the corporate tat and everything feeling like it's trying to sell you something, but there was a lesson in all of it, I feel. I feel like I needed reminding what real human chaos looks like. The graffiti, the mess, the waste, the arguments, the things that don't make sense, the joy on my son's face when he saw Iron Maiden, the reading of the books, the bickering we had in Lisbon. It was just so raw and human feeling, and I needed that. And I think this trip reminded me why the present is worth paying attention to. So that's why I needed the trip, and that's why the toilet appealed to me, because I needed to be reminded that I'm a human being. Although I don't get most of us, I don't understand human beings, like they make no sense to me. it's been good to make this video again. I'm a little bit nervous, I won't lie, I'm a little bit nervous about the comments, because there's a lot of people who haven't been able to be mean to us in 6 months, so they've got some catching up to do. And I understand that AI is super unpopular with a lot of people, so no doubt people are going to be like, meh. And anyone who goes meh about the water consumption of AI, please, if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, okay, fine. You have a go at me for the few millimeters of water that a prompt uses. But do you know how much water goes into a burger? You're talking like 2,500 litres. Thanks for watching this video. It's been nice to catch up again. If you want to see more of these for some reason, then check out our apps, the Blackout Card app. If you could download that and give it a go, that'd be amazing. Oh yeah, with the Blackout Card one, I give you a bunch of free cards. I think I give you over 200 free cards, so you can try it out for free, see what you think. No pressure. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But you get a bunch of free cards anyway. But yeah, it's been good to catch up, and I'll try and do it more often, because I have missed it. And I've missed making the videos. I've missed the whole sort of process. Sorry Hannah wasn't here, but she's been a bit of a diva. But yeah, I'll rope her into the next one, I promise. Hopefully, now I'm not building anything anymore, I'll make this more of a regular thing again and upload, more than once every 6 months. But yeah, cool. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.